Good evening, folks. How are we today? Wow, it's Tuesday already. Another week has gone by since we've done the show. Mike is back after having an exciting time at the World's Fair of Money in Chicago. I want to say hi to everybody we haven't said hi to already. That would be Mudswat. What's up, man? Everybody else that spoke in the chat, we already said hi to. So, yeah, there's that. And all right, we have a comment pinned at the top of the chat. If you have any questions, please begin them with three question marks so we can notice them easier. It'll be easier to highlight them. So, Mike, it's been an exciting week. You've been busy like all week, right? What exactly
Yeah.
did you? Where
What's
were
that?
Where were you? What'd you do?
Oh, I was in Chicago, Illinois, meeting with a few of the mints and doing the show. Had a good time.
Who all was there? I mean, what mints were there? You said a few of the mints.
Oh, wow. Well, we had the Australian mint was there, the U.S. mint was
Hmm.
there, Canadian mint was there, the Holy Land mint was there, which I met with three of them while I was there, and then one private mint.
So the U.S. Mint, right? Did they have anything coming out? I don't think they did for this show, but don't they normally?
Uh, yeah, they actually did release one coin there. It was the new S Mint Silver Eagle, proof Silver Eagle.
I stopped by and asked them, and it had slipped my mind. They did say that when I stopped by. I said, "Hey, what kind of new coins you got for the show this week?" And it just totally slipped my mind, or I wouldn't have asked the question. I would have just stated it. So yeah, the S Mint Proof Silver Eagles, right?
Correct.
So I met up with you on Saturday. We met a few people down there, and I missed a lot of them. Sorry for you guys that I missed, but I had a pretty good time. But how was the buying and selling at the show?
Well, except for one day, the show was pretty busy. My hats are off to the A&A. I thought they did a great job this round, and I told them so too.
I thought they
Sam
did
and
pretty good.
Jennifer and their crew did a great job.
I did enjoy my time at the show, but man, did I get wore out. I had this, I don't know, knot in my neck, and then I drove for 4 hours to get there. And I walked around, and then by the time I started seeing some of the YouTube folks, it was like, wow, I'm tired. Welchko come up to me. I was standing at your table at the time, and he came up, and I was just fixing to sit down. I had my roll along bag that I put my stuff in that I buy because I usually take it empty and then try to fill it up, but never happens. And I had it, and I had my hand on the chair, hand on the table, fixing to switch around and sit right. And it's like he comes up and say hi, and so I'm standing there. And I started talking to him. He's a real nice guy. Him and his wife, great folks. Uh, so instead of sitting down, what I do is I grab a hold of my bag and I pull it long up away, and I sit it up in the seat, and I just started leaning on it. I'm like, I'm so wore out. I mean, it's a long day for me. It was a really long. I can imagine. I mean, how much you had as far as being tired out and stuff.
I covered that floor about 5 to 6 times.
Yeah, I think the next time I'm gonna have to actually stay overnight and do it in 2 days because it was
But
just
you
so.
know, they had a really nice big show. I actually joked with Sam, who works for the A&A. I said,
Mhm.
"Sam, I'm thinking about pulling my phone out. You guys need to get an Uber driver in there because I need a ride back to my table."
Yeah, maybe they need some little. If it wouldn't be such a hazard for the pedestrians, maybe they should get a little golf cart in there. It was a big show. It was definitely big. When I went, the concession stand wasn't open on Saturday when I was there.
Yeah, I noticed that. That was kind of a shocker.
Yeah, it's like, what am I? I mean, you had to go out of. The show itself was so big, but you had to actually leave out of the show to go onto the floor where they had some restaurants. They used to have a Subway. I didn't notice it, and by the time I got out there in the afternoon, I'm like, I gotta go. I can't stay no more because just to get back to you was like 3 to 5 minutes just to walk back to you from the door. It was crazy.
Yeah, I believe that. Believe that or not, that's the Autumn Premium I was in.
Yeah, we did.
That's supposed to be the front room. What'd you think of that? Do you feel like I was in the front?
You was in the front of the back because there was a curtain behind you. But yeah, that when you stop and look at the whole show where the door comes in at, it's like a rectangle, and then you walk straight to the back of the room. You were in the back, but if you look over to the right side of the room, it's like you was nowhere near the back. So theoretically, I guess you was the front of the room.
I felt like I was in the back
Still
front.
was quite a ways back.
I felt like I was in the front, in the back, but in the front back. That's what I
Okay, we
felt.
got a question from Mud Swat here. He says, "What do you look for in the 81p and a 1978p cent row?" He wants to know, inquiring minds. What would you be looking for in that? I just kind of look at for everything. Off the top of my head, I don't exactly know, but I look for anything abnormal. The cents don't have the P mint mark on them, but to be
I
honest
like
with
it.
you,
I like them when I can definitely find. I got a chance to find something if I find them in an original wrap paper roll. Then
yeah,
I know
you're
I
better
got a
off
chance to find
looking in an original row. But off the top of my head,
something.
I can't think of nothing. White AM, I don't know. I don't think so. Not on those years. I could be mistaken. The he says this white AM, the small we. I don't know if those are prominent enough. When you're looking for errors in variety, maybe I'm wrong, Mike, but
I look
correct me.
for them on the 95.
Okay, but correct me if I'm wrong. When you're looking at errors in varieties, uh, don't you want to look for stuff that really stands out? I mean, because if you have to take a microscope or a magnifier to try to find it or see it, wouldn't that be hard to sell? Maybe I'm wrong, but what do you think?
It would be unless you can get it into a holder. You can get the grading company to agree with you and get in a holder. People won't look for it as hard because it's already been verified for them.
Yeah, so if it's raw, he's saying look through rows. Yeah, so
The thing is, on them particular years, if they ain't in original paper, I'm not really that much interested in it because it's been gone through several different times when they're in plastic tubes.
and this is something Frank Mon says. He's saying, can't you use a variety vista to look it up? Mod swat. Man, I'm just tongue tied. Yeah, you can use the Vista, the variety Vista to look that up, and you should help you find out what to look for. I just look for anomalies myself. And he goes, never tried it, Frank. Thanks. So that show, I mean, there. An informed dog is sitting there saying the 81p doesn't have much. Yeah, that's what I thought so too. But I mean, I could be wrong. There are a lot of errors, a lot of varieties out there. Some of them, as I said, if they're too hard to find, yeah, they could be worth 10, 20, $50. Some of them worth hundreds of dollars. But if you can't see them, is it really worth putting in your collection? That's what you got to ask yourself. Value doesn't make for a good collection. To me,
I look for stuff that I think is going to sell for 100 plus because then it's worth my time of looking at it and grading it. I don't, if it's going to be underneath $100 coin, I'm not too much interested in it.
it seems like, part of coin collecting is enjoying your collection. Um, so if you can't see it and it's raw, not certified, it makes it a little bit harder to enjoy it. Okay, J Dogs, remind you, please refresh the live chat so you're up to speed. So I honestly believe that there's not much there. And Farm Dog is reminding us that 78 does have some double die verses on them.
They
So
do.
that's something you want to look for. But again, if it's not totally evident, do you really want to have it in your personal collection? It might be something that you get a hold of and just flip out.
These days, I don't really have time to go through all that stuff. So I really, and the people that work for me don't have that time either. We're too busy doing other stuff. So I really don't look for them anymore.
Yeah. You see that? See that? I'm muted. I covered my face and you guys didn't see nothing. Trying to put them yawn rounds in there. Um, yeah, I did enjoy the show. I picked up a silver dollar. I think I showed it to you, Mike. Picked up a 17.99 over 8 bust.
Yeah, and
Great
I picked
bust
up a
dollar.
really nice $20 gold piece, another Carson City, a 77.
I put out a short video on this coin today, right
I did
here.
not put one out on mine. I did them all together. I put a video out on everything I picked up, and I missed a couple coins. I apologize, folks.
Well, I like this coin so much. It's my first 1700 silver dollar. I've had 1700 coins before, but this is the first one. It happens to be a B3 variety, which is also the BB141. Did a short on it today. Check it out. There will be a link in that short video to the upcoming long form version that gives you a little bit of information about why this is a B3, why it's a BB141, and tells you about the mini. We'll be telling you about the minis and pointing out the coin and stuff. So definitely want to be looking for that video, but at least check out the short. What do you think? Now, last week you wasn't up. The markets, I mean, they were just crazy. And a lot of stuff.
Crazy low, and I'm going to tell you, I loved it.
Yeah.
I really did. You would think people would have been hitting my shop wanting to buy. They were selling.
Well, they
Guys,
hit me
when
with
it's
the buy.
taking a drop like that, that's the last thing you want to do is run and drop. You need to be pulling back and buying if you can, or at least
Yeah,
holding.
that was something I didn't quite understand myself why I was selling a lot
I actually
because
had two of the guys that sold to me to my wife last week come in today and bought, paying more than what they sold it for last week. It was kind
that
of didn't make sense.
that is what you normally do, and it just kind of had me dumbfounded to like so many people were coming in buying last week. Now that is what you should do, but the thing is, they usually do just the opposite. So I was kind of like, okay, wow, people were actually in my shop. They were actually paying attention to the market, and they came in and they bought a lot more than they normally buy. Very few sellers, and I was happy because people, in my opinion, I think they were doing the right thing with the market acting the way it did.
They were buying. They were definitely doing the right thing.
Steve LaPointe says there's still a lot of sellers. I actually had fewer sellers last week than I normally do, and that's exactly what I like. So JJ says 23 likes, 41 people watching. Guys, hit the like button if you like the show. If you want to share it, let other people know
I
we're
already
alive.
did. I just got done
Yeah.
hitting that like button, guys.
There you go. He
And
finally
guys,
hit the like
thank you
button.
for everybody that watched my video. I will be sending comments back tomorrow on this. I really appreciate it. Amy, you're one of them I seen that watched it. Thank you. Coin Crew, I seen that you watched it. That's what I was doing just now, checking out who all watched my
I
video.
was just fixing to open my mouth and say he didn't say nothing about me watching it, but
Too
he
late.
got to it faster than I did. So yeah, the markets, man, it's hot in here. Is it hot in here to you? Are you guys hot? I think we're gonna have to get
Just
up
a
here.
market.
Yeah, the market has came back quite a bit this week. I noticed on I put an order in Sunday night with the wholesaler, and I noticed the market
DNX
like
Collectible was another
50
one.
cents, and it's like, wow, that's pretty good for silver.
Farm Dog, once again, thank you.
And
But I
gold
will
came
send
back.
comments out there, but I'm looking at these right now. Rob Pin, what are you doing, buddy?
Robert Pintoff says, folks are frightened with world events and here at home. So, what do you think about that, my friend, my brother? Mike, the
What do
same.
I think? You know, we're all of us are human, so yes, we are going to be a little frightened and stuff, but also we got to think with common sense. We know what's going on out there. We know what the governments are doing. We've seen the whole stock market and everything take such a slam last week. Fake job markets usually does a lot to it, and guys, don't panic too much. Just watch it. We're going to have a lot of rock and roll on in the next couple of months. Just use common sense.
I was really pleased with the way, I mean, not the way the market acted for the past 2 weeks, but the way it acted this week. 2 weeks prior, it sold off my personal equities. They sold off around 10%, a 10% difference in the value of my stocks. But yet this week, and I was really happy because it only took 1 week for it to come back 5%. So I'm like, oh wow, I'm almost up to where I was. It's not bad for just one single week. The markets were strong. You had a lot of the big name, the big tech firms, and did you hear even Starbucks? I mean, they hired a new CEO.
Well,
Stock came back 20% today.
and
That's
guys,
huge.
I'm going to tell you, everybody's feeling the pinch, including the mints. So just stay tuned. I think you guys are going to see some good numbers with them guys where it's going to be more affordable to buy. I actually have that coin. Thank you. It rolls of them.
So you're saying it's going to be more affordable to buy? Are the mints? Are they trying to reduce the cost? Is that what's maybe might happen?
Uh well, I'm not going to say or deny or anything like that, but just watch. You'll see. I was in a lot of meetings this past week. I think you're going to like everything coming forward to you.
Now, Silver Clan has a comment here. He goes, "Hello, all. I have 30 Bank of America original bank wrap rolls, 1968 S Lincoln cents. Been in the closet and mint canvas bags since end of '68. I'm just holding them for now. Now, don't the '68s have a little bit going on with them?
They do have some errors in them. I mean, if I was him, I would definitely hang on to them. All the estimate coins right now, guys, older that were even mint state released, there is a lot of buyers out there right now paying extra for that stuff. So hang on to it.
I wish I had more. And it's really weird because yesterday, I'm a small buyer when it comes to stocks. I bought a whopping 20 shares of Ford, and I'm like, man, I should have yesterday. As a matter of fact, I'm like, man, I should have just bought 2 shares of Starbucks and been better off. I just bought it for a little bit higher dividend.
I
I mean,
refuse to invest anything into Starbucks.
all right, he doesn't like that high priced coffee. Is that what it is?
No, I just don't like what they do. We
Beerus is
won't get
here.
into it because it's political, but I'll leave that at that.
Beerus is here. Hi, I'm at work. Just wanted to stop in and say hi, hello, and drop a like. Thank you, Beerus.
Thank
We
you, sir.
appreciate it. So yeah, and then Mudswat likes common sense, and then we got the 69 has a DDO which is way better than the 69S, which is way better than the 68S. Yes, it is. That is the 69S one of the most expensive DDOs there is when you get up in the MS 65
Oh
plus.
yeah.
So now that one is a tricky one if you don't know a double die between the die shift. A lot of people confuse a die shift. They go, "Oh, this is a poor man's double die." No, it's not. It's just a die shift. Die shifts aren't worth much.
Hey guys, you call it what you want, and because it is more affordable, call it a poor man. It's okay.
It's not a double die. It's just a simple slipping of the die.
Hey, if the guy pays a buck for it, it's a poor man's double die.
Against an army, your opinions on Ford patented technology to spy on drivers per police. I don't know about all that. I don't own a Ford car. I used to, but I don't now. I used to own a
I
Ford.
haven't
I
bought
own my own.
Ford since I stopped hauling for them in 19 or 20. What was it? 2012 was when hauled my last
2011,
load.
2012, something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when they
When we
screwed me
all
out of my money. That's the last time I
own
done
trucking
anything
company.
before. My brother would tell
Yeah.
you I refuse to buy another Ford.
I really don't have an opinion on that patented technology because I don't know about it. So
Oh, I heard about it. Yeah, but as far as knowing about it, no. Have heard it. Go see Mike.
Frank Mods is saying go see Mike's vid at Mid America Coins. If one of the mods want to throw his link up, that'd be great. I think your link comes up periodically with the Nightbot, but it's about 6 minutes
Thank you,
long.
Frank. I
Very nice
appreciate
coin,
that.
and it's only 3 minutes if you play it by 2 times speed. Oh, but then I don't know how that YouTube algorithm works. If you played it at 2 times speed, are you getting 100% view, or do they knock it down to half? I don't know.
But guys, we got a couple more videos going to be coming up here real soon too. I'm working on more videos.
And stay tuned. Later today, he may or may not put out a video and say, "Stay tuned. I'm going to have a video." and let you watch that to keep you busy.
Well,
Now,
that could happen. I did it once. Why not do it again, right?
that's right. He did do that, and that's kind of what I did with the short today. I kind of give a quick sneak peek on this coin. I made it today, and I just got to add a couple pictures to it.
And
But
just to be fair with you guys, I know in that video I said on it'll be on tonight. That video was supposed to get released today, but my son's my editor and he just sent it live right off the bat. So
oh yeah, I remember that. He goes, "I'm gonna be on Coin Cruise tonight." I watched that. So, guys, if you have any questions, please mention it in the chat about gold, about anything, about silver. You can even send us an email if you have some coins you want us to look at, because basically, more eyes, more minds are better than a single one.
yeah, and if you have any questions you guys are not sure, if we can't answer them, I'm sure somebody out here on this chat will be able to help you. If not, I or myself or Keith will definitely find the answer for you for the next
Yeah, we'll
time
do
we're
our
back.
best, and we'll get back to you in the comments or via email, whichever way you contact
Yeah.
us.
Just guys, ask the questions. We can't answer them if you don't ask. I've been doing this a real long time. Keith's been doing this a real long time, and we love sharing knowledge.
Yeah, we do. So we think we do. We don't know. I'm just a guy. I don't know much, man. So we are here enjoying the evening. Hopefully, you guys are doing the same. And what makes this chat work? What makes it so exciting are the questions you ask. Because I'm pretty good at improvising and freestyling and stuff. When I make a video, I don't sit there and write out a script and put it on a piece of paper. I just kind of do the research, make the video. In the same way here, we don't write a script as to how we want this show to go. We let you guys dictate how it's going to go. If you guys want to talk about crazy stuff, we're all for it as long as it's not too bad, right?
And guys, for these mints out of these government mints, I've been talking a little bit with them. If you guys got any ideals or comments you want to get out to them, get them out to me or get them out to Keith, and I'll get it back to them.
Lone Star, about collecting idea. Who to sell off my BSA Boy Scout patches? Used to trade BSA patches for about 10 years, but I want to liquidate them. I have no idea about Boy Scout patches. What do you know
I
about that?
don't I don't know nothing about them, so I'm out. I
Okay, well,
couldn't even
sorry about that,
guide you in
Lone
the right
Star.
direction on that one. Guys,
We
if anybody knows where he can get rid of them, please let us know.
Yeah, or
Um,
mention it in the chat. That would be great because I'm sure that would help Lone Star Fox out. Amy here, over the weekend, the interest on the national debt is more than the Pentagon budget. What happens to gold and silver prices now? As the debt's going up, what do you think is happening, Mike?
Well, as you know, we all know this. Gold and silver is always traded as true money. If we don't get ourselves back by silver and gold, it ain't going to matter about our debt. Our dollar ain't worth nothing anyway, but our gold and silver is. So that means it can do nothing but go up. And this is why when I see you guys dumping on the market, it just kind of kills me. And don't get me wrong, we love to buy, don't and we do. That's what we do. That's part of our job. But I would also love to see you guys grow. I got a kick out of a guy about a year ago brought his gold into me, and he had a lot of gold. He only sold me one roll off, and he doubled his money, a little bit better than double. And I asked him how he slept at night. He said, "Mighty fine, because you're the one who talked me into buying this stuff." And we lost somebody. There
Oh
he
no,
is.
I had to stand up a second.
Yeah, it
Like I
messed up
said,
your camera now.
it's as hot in here as the market is this week. I mean, I had to turn the overhead fan on. Okay, here we go.
Well,
JetMac
some
says,
people got central air, sir.
well, even with Central Area, you close the room to get the kitty cats out, and it doesn't circulate as well.
Don't you have a
Can
vent
you
in there?
share JetMac 999? Can you share about gold you submitted, a gold coin you submitted to NGC, Mike? My wife is driving me crazy here. So, what gold coins did you submit? This Inquiring minds want to know.
Well, if you really want to know, sir, we got it back.
What coin was it?
So
Tell
if you
everybody
want to
what it
call
was.
me tomorrow, if you really want me to share on this site and tell them what coin it was, that's your choice. Or do you want to tell them what coin it was?
I don't remember.
I will
I'm
tell
lost.
you that you're going to be very happy what it scored.
Oh, I know what it is. Straight up, guys, and I think you're going to agree with me. The gold coin, are you ready for it? That he got back from the graders is my birthday present. Am I right?
Well, that's up to that. That's up to that person there that knows what I did for him. Now you can tell Keith if you like. You can tell the audience if you like. But to give you the grade, I will not over the thing. You got to call me tomorrow.
Fantastic. Share it, Mike. Share it, they say.
Well, we got his Charlotte back.
Charlotte.
Yes, we did.
Okay, he
And
wants you to share it with the
it
chat.
graded straight grade for him.
There you go.
So
I'd
tomorrow
imagine if he
call
was
me because I don't have the paperwork in front to be the exact what it graded, but I know you're going to be happy. It scored. So just call me tomorrow. We's getting ready to get that shipped out to you. We's going to let you know it before we shipped it, but since you contacted me first, I don't have to call you now. You call me tomorrow and we'll get it shipped out after we tell you.
and I was just being silly there a while ago when I said for my birthday. I didn't realize it was another customer's coin. I straight up thought it was your coin, and I was like,
No, sir. No,
"Don't look
sir. This
her up."
belongs to this customer. I told him what he needed to do for me to help him. We did a walkthrough. We got it done, and it's ready to come back to him.
Awesome. There you go, Jet Mac.
He got
So
it to me before I left for the A&A. I told him in order for me to do a walkthrough, you had to get it to me. And he did it, and I did it, and we got her done.
So you didn't did you so what you're saying is you didn't do an actual end of show, you just did a walkthrough.
Well, that's what a walkthrough is. It got graded right there at the show.
Oh, and they gave it to you?
Yeah.
Cool. They're expensive in walkthroughs.
No, actually, it was not bad. They were doing a
Really?
show, but they was $250 less than PCGS. PCGS was twiddling their thumbs, wondering why they wasn't getting a walkthrough. NGC, Scott and them, great people. We talked, and they said they was going to do something different that they never done at the A&A show. Let's put it this way, guys. Usually these companies grade all the way up to the last day on site.
Yeah.
The second day in, at the end of the day, they said, we're not taking any more submissions on site because they spent the next 3 days grading all the coins they had. They were so busy the first 2 days of the stuff coming to them and then getting it up there. They couldn't get it all graded fast enough. I didn't get them coins back until Friday late afternoon. I gave it to them at the beginning of the show.
Wow. Well, normally end of show is it's a little cheaper than the 4-hour express service. That can get pretty expensive, can't it?
It can. It can.
Yeah.
But this round here, they did something different. PCGS, they wanted to charge ridiculous pricing, and a lot of people weren't buying it.
I totally get it, man. I get it 100%. Just seeing. Oh, here we go. How common rather? God, I'm so tongue tied today. How
It says,
common
how
are the
common are
Bluebell
high
line
grade
cards?
Franklin BFL? Actually, it's very common anymore. There's a lot of them being found. And that's why in the gray sheets, they have dropped right close to what a regular one is now.
Well, there's still the 53S. I mean, that's not so common.
There's a lot of them scoring, though, right now, bro.
But the 53S is
Even
still
the
pretty
53 has
expensive.
taken a drop. Not as low as the rest of them, but it has taken a drop.
53S is the key of the full bell lines. Yes.
Yeah. I can tell you what it's going for now. How's that? I
And
got my
that's
sheet
something
up
that's really
already,
got
so
me
we'll
going.
do it for you.
You got the full bell line. You got the split band on the Roosevelts. You got the full band on the Mercuries. And it's like you got the full head on the standard Liberty quarters. How come? Maybe it's just me, but whatever happened to the full horn on the Buffalo nickel?
What is
Because you
that?
get some of them San Francisco mint marks, it's hard to have a full horn on those. Is
Yeah,
it not?
like I said, what's that? They don't even use that word full horn anymore.
No, they don't. They don't grade it. They don't use the terminology. But if you're looking for a nice buffalo from San Francisco mint, mid to late 1920s, the full horn ones are a little harder to get. And those guys like me and other folks, they're willing to pay up if it has a nice solid horn, even though it's not annotated on the coin. Because usually, if it has that
Yeah,
solid horn,
used to a
yeah,
62 is worth 10, and this is what I'm saying. It's almost half that. It's 5,600 now, Keith.
wow, that's way down on the 53S.
But it's still the most expensive. I mean, 5,600 for a Benjamin is high, but at the same time, that used to be a $10,000 coin. Now your 63s
I
at
thought
12. So
I thought at one point the 63 or 4, one of them was like $35,000 on
yeah,
the
the
53.
63 sold in an auction for 35,000. It's down to
Yeah, you-
12,000 now. I feel
that's a huge
sorry for the
gap.
guy that paid 35,000 to see them numbers. Got to be making them sick
But
because
anyway,
for a 64. Oh, wait, actually, he can jump up to a 65 for 31,000 now. So
there you
that's
go.
that's
That's
enough to
pretty
make you
nice.
sick.
The thing I was talking about the Buffalo Nickels, if you get a full horn in the mid to late 1920s, those usually have a pretty good strike overall. The thing that I don't like per se on the Buffalo Nickels is when you put them under a microscope, even a beautiful uncirculated one, it can look awesome to the naked eye or even a 3 power. But you put it under a microscope, it's the way it's made, the hairline on the side of the Indian and even the top of the bison, it just looks circulated for some reason if you get it under a strong microscope.
Well,
So
you're not supposed to be looking that hard.
that's right. But you only look that hard if you're looking for errors and stuff.
And you know this, Steve. That was another set that was not. They didn't run a lot of dates for because it was a hard coin to keep in that nicer circulation because it
Yeah.
wore down
It's
easy.
it's all about the horn and the tail on the buffaloes, 100%. But the thing about, like he was saying, you're not supposed to look at a coin that hard. A lot of people, that's a problem, and let's get into that a second, Mike. A lot of people they tend to over magnify their coins when looking for stuff, and they're like, "Oh, this coin doesn't grade as good as it says on the holder." I mean, why is that? I mean, are you just like looking too deep in the metal, or because over magnification is a problem? Yes, no.
The only time I over magnify something if I think it's really been cleaned, I want to put a stronger because I don't like to buy really nice high dollar coins. I'm talking like 10, $15,000 coins and find out later it was a clean coin because that makes you sick. We just spend that kind
Or say the like John Jacobs here, the 1918 over 17 Buffalo nickel. You want to make sure it's what it is too.
yes.
Really, that's the only time you should use anything stronger than a 5 power.
But a 5, 10 power is more than enough.
Yeah, if you're going bigger than that, you're actually, and I say that on my auctions a lot. I'll say we're using this ZV1. Even though it's not a high magnifier, it doesn't magnify the picture enough. But when I pull it up closer, it's kind of like it does because it's closer and it stays super focused. It brings out, I guess you could say, the ugliness of a coin. It makes a beautiful coin sometimes, and microscopes are guilty of that too. Sometimes it makes them to where they don't look as beautiful as they are. So never over magnify. Here we go. Paul's Garage agrees with the over magnification. Now, after you've been doing it a while, like in Mike's case and my case, and you've been using the same microscope or something, you may understand or may realize, hey, this is not something wrong with the coin. This is just a slight over magnification. And here's something that is a problem, Mike. Drickett happens to say right here. Seems that there are a lot of older coins that have been cleaned. Do you
It is
see
true.
that?
It is true. There's a lot of older coins that have been cleaned. Now, there is proper cleaning and there is improper cleaning. And that's what the graders look for, the proper cleaning. They're not always going to call a coin clean, even though we know it's been cleaned, if it was properly cleaned. You can recondition a coin. That's why the grading companies offer that. But knowing how and doing it right is a big key.
So what they're talking about basically is the micro abrasions that are put on a coin from improperly
Never
restored.
clean.
So that is something that is a big issue with older coins. A lot of people didn't know how to clean them properly. They were like, "Oh, it looks beautiful. It's shiny. It's pretty. It's new." And then you put it under just a 3 or 4 power or 3 to 5 power, and you're like, "Oh wow, all them swirly scratches and stuff." You can't have that. You got to do restoration properly. Here's gold is controlled, silver is manipulated. Do agree with both you guys, says Steve Lapointe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Graders aren't allowed to do over 5 magnification, or at least that is what I was taught summer seminar grading classes. That sounds about right, Bob. I thought it was 10, but I wouldn't doubt it if it is only 5. But again, I haven't gone
But
to.
I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of grading companies that use a 10 power when they're working. There is in instance sometimes if they think that the coin has really been improperly handled, they will blow it up and put it up on a screen so they can make sure that they're giving you the proper grade. And that's in very few incidents, but it
Instances.
does happen. And they have to do that for the simple reason one of the graders noticed it, it's being called. They want to make sure that they're giving you the proper grade.
They want to make sure it is or isn't improperly handled,
There is
cleaned
3 people
properly.
that grade that coin, and the final say is what happens after that look at.
So, hello, Gold Maple from Canada. Thanks for watching. Thanks, everybody, for
Thank you,
watching. We
sir.
really
We
appreciate it.
appreciate your high.
Okay, here we go. Gold Maper's quick with a question after coming in. Thank you, my friend. What are your thoughts on Maria Teresa Thalers? Are these good coins to collect? Why or why not? There's a lot of replicas out there. Is there not, of the
There
Thalers?
is.
So, how do you know?
I try to stay away from it unless I got my testers to test them properly because there is a lot of if you brought one up to me, I had no way of testing it. I'm usually going to pass on it.
Yeah, a lot of them, they're treated as restrikes, even if they're not, unless they're certified otherwise, because there are so many restrikes out there. They probably still making them today. Beautiful coin, but sometimes you can kind of tell the older ones, but it's worth the risk if putting it in a bulk submission. So here we go. Against an army, please begin questions with 3 question marks to make your questions noticeable. I noticed we are keeping up with the chat a lot better than I was last week. I was like 10, 15 minutes behind. And that could be because I'm missing some of the questions. Because, guys, I don't always notice them if you don't put them 3 questions in front. So please do that. We would really, really appreciate it. I'm trying to catch some of
But
the stuff.
I don't agree with this one here. Let's see, where did I see that at? Pull up Nick.
Nick Molar. Okay,
Yeah.
Nick Molar.
Now pull up. No, he's got another one on grading sports cars. There you go.
Grading sports cards are easier.
Nick, I'm finding that not to be true, sir. I sent in 240 cards, and the grading companies were real hard on the high dollar coins or cards than they were on my customers' comments. And I'm talking the 53 set. The Mickey Mantle looked better than some of the commons, and they gave it a 4 where they gave all the rest 6 and 7s.
And it looked better.
It looked better. The corners were better. It was centered nice, and
I mean,
I
I
just
don't
could
know.
not believe it.
I
Now
don't know a lot about
I
grading.
did argue with them there. The card is back in grading. We're going to see what they do because I hit them with some hard points on it. So they took it back, free grading on it, and so we're going to wait and see what happens, guys. But I thought they was very hard on the Mickey Mantle
It
because
could be
it's a big difference in
it could be
pricing.
just the vintage cards that are harder than and the newer cards are easier. And I don't
Well,
know a lot about
us
grading
old guys,
cards,
that's all we deal with anymore is vintage.
and I understand that, but I don't know a lot about grading cards. But it seems to me that maybe they have something that they do to figure out, has this card been moistened at some point? Not like got wet, but it's just been in a moist environment. Is that going to do something to the fibers in the card? I mean, I don't know. Is that why there's that chance that that could be what they're thinking or
They
something?
grade on color, they grade on corners, they grade on centered. You know,
But I would think they would
I
look at the
actually
fibers of
I
the
actually
card
got to
more.
take a tour of that. I thought it was really
Uh-huh.
cool, and you know, the bottom line, I went down to Florida, and the bottom line, guys, it's really cool how they do that. But at the same time, I think they was a little bit rough on that. I probably could have got a better grade but you won't get the same value if I would have just sent it straight to one of the other grading companies. But you know, then it don't
Yeah.
match the set.
Okay, and moving on, we got this show stimulates my brain. That's a good thing. Great job. Uh, Dude, it stimulates our brain too. It gets us to thinking more. And Bob is correct. And thanks a lot, Bob, for the comment. He is reiterating it's usually the 1780 thalers that are restrikes. There are different years. But yes, that is correct. Do the
Well, you
graders,
need a row of them. I got a row.
everybody's got a roll of them, I'm sure. Do the graders mark reconditioned in the details area on the reverse? Licks, thank you for the
No,
comment. They
no, they
do
don't.
not mark it in the any section of the slab because honestly, 95% of all coins have been reconditioned, cleaned, or whatever with. But if you didn't damage the coin, who's to say it was reconditioned? It could have just been, toned or whatever or something. So there's after a while, there's no way to tell if a coin has been reconditioned because it wasn't damaged in the process.
Guys, I got a 28 back from the graders, and we sent it through conservation. You see this coin, if it wouldn't have went through conservation, they wouldn't have straight graded it. It got a 62 because we let them recondition it.
Okay, Gold Maple's got another question for us. What are your thoughts on the British gold guineas, British gold sovereigns minted in India, South Africa, Canada? Is there a market in the U.S. for these coins? Would you buy them?
Yes, there is a market, and yes, we will buy them.
They do have a premium on them, just like any other bullion gold. Now, if they're a high quality coin graded, could have a little bit of collector value to it, but mostly what you see floating
And
around.
India brings more than the others.
Yes, and you also have Australia too, the Australian submarines.
Yeah.
Now, if they get graded, obviously they're worth a little more if they're older and they're not a restrike. But having said that, most of them you see in circulation loose, raw. They're pretty much bullion plus the current premium. Here's one from Teacher. Thank you, Teacher, for the comment. When grading companies hire new employees, do they go through long process to check how they grade, trust, and that they already know how to? If you don't mind, I'll take this one, Mike.
You got it. You got it. I'll
My
let you have
son, my son went to the A&A School of Grading. He had a friend of his. I'm not going to mention his name. This friend of his went and took a grading test, so to speak, to work for PCDS. Now, I still know this guy. I'm friends with his parents and stuff. He passed the test, got the probationary job for 6 months, and he was paid, I think, 60% regular salary, kind of like a internship. He was only paid 60% to work for PCDS. And if during that 6 months, if you don't do it right or you're not keeping up to par, grading the number of coins they want you to grade a day, they can let you go. But he made it. He made it past the 6 month trial period, and that is basically how they do it. They kind of give him a lower paid internship type, a paid internship, and make sure they can do the job. But
Yeah,
they do have to
yeah,
take a test
but,
first.
they actually go under the wings of a couple of the professional graders, Keith, they do that too. In the
Yeah.
6 months they're in training, they are actually grading, believe it or not, and these trainers, so-called, they're watching over them to make sure that
Mhm.
they understand what they're grading. Do they tell them, "No, they're wrong"? No, they do not. Believe it or not, one of them trainers is the other grader on that coin. If they're wrong, then they'll let them know it later, but they're gonna play it until they get it right. And once they get through that 6 months period that Keith was saying, now they became a professional grader, and eventually they'll get somebody underneath them and they'll work with them. But as far
Now
as grading, these guys got to grade on their own, and that's what they're watched for. If they can't make it in 6 months, they don't keep them.
and, not saying they are discriminating against people that are older. They do hire more young graders, and it's just a biological thing because younger graders have better eyes that will last longer than older graders. Having said that, there are some older graders they hire, but your eyes get tired after a while. It's
Yeah,
hard when you
and,
sit
and you
there.
know there is some of them that every once in a while they offer them a job too.
Yeah, they do offer some of the older
Especially the
folks a job.
guys that
They're
sit there
far
and
better.
argue with them about their grade, and they figured this guy needs to come to work for us.
Yeah, but usually they do like to hire the younger folks because they're,
They do. They do.
more
I mean,
stamina in the eyes. 8 hours in a lowly lit room with a little table lamp gets a little strenuous on the eye. So 74 watching. Thank you guys
yeah.
so
Thank you,
much.
Steve. We appreciate that.
Okay, Nick Moeller, I've been a sports card dealer for over 30 years. Awesome. I was a sports card dealer 30 years ago and I quit because of the baseball strike in
Uh,
the 90s. I
and
had
now
started
I
dealing
just kind of
in
I
the 80s.
still
What are we
deal
dealing with?
in it. I was doing both, but I only deal with vintage now.
Yeah, we were dealing with ball cards in the 80s when we were all together there back in the
Nick,
day
do
there.
you deal in vintage and new, or are you just dealing in new product only?
Did you get PSA graded? Graders were not around when I was in biz with the ball cards.
PSA is who we sent them to, and yes, NGC is part of them, and that's who I sent that back to, Nick.
All right, we're catching up. Nick Molar, did you? Okay, they're back again with the. Yeah, I caught you the first time, Nick.
No,
Again, when I
all
dealt
them
with
cards
sports,
went to PSA. Beckett, I probably could have got it through and got my grade I wanted. But and you're in this business, so you know that if you really want to get the big money, it has to be in a PSA holder.
Matthew DeHart, thank you for the comment. Appreciate your awesome support. He goes, "Hey Keith, awesome show tonight, guys. It's not just me; it's this guy right here, Mike, my brother, helps out, and all of you guys in the
Guys,
chat.
yeah, it's all of you guys.
What
Without you
makes this
guys, this show wouldn't be happening at
what
all.
makes this show good is the questions that you ask. The more questions you ask, as long as they're not too hard and I can't answer, no. But seriously, the more questions you
Oh no,
ask
I'll take on
makes
the
it more
hard
interactive.
questions because if I
We'll take
can't
a
answer them,
crack
I
at
will
any of
find
them.
the answer for you.
Most grading companies do what is called market grading, of which, if it pops in price at a certain grade for a certain coin, they are extremely conservative
On
unless it
grading
really
unless it
pops.
really pops
So
too.
yeah, I've heard that before. I don't know how true it is. Where like if you've got a coin that's $500 in MS63 and it's 5,064, they really don't want to give it that in MS64. I don't know if that's true or not because I had a coin one time at 1891 uh, Indian cent red MS65. It was like real low. It was like I want to say 500-600 bucks or something. And then an
I got
MS66
a coin right
in
now that
just
is
a second, bro.
in a 65 plus. A 65 is 4,500, but if it would have made 66, it's 8,500. I got that little problem, that plus. That's telling me, well, we'd like to do that, but then we don't want to give you the money.
Okay, getting back to my coin where I was talking about, I had the Indian head 1891. I sent it to NGC or PCGS. It graded MS66, which is like over 4,000. So I don't know if that's true or not, but I've always felt that sometimes. But again, that could be just me thinking it. And just like Mike just said, he's got a plus. Makes him wonder if they did that to
I
him
got it
too.
on my paper here. It's a 78 Carson City and a 65 plus. I wanted that 66. I thought it would make the 66, but they kind of agree with me halfway.
Halfway agree. Now Keith is waiting on a coin strike to quit again. He's talking about I quit dealing with baseball cards. No, what happened with and you remember this, Mike, in the
I remember
90s, there was a
it was
baseball strike.
93.
And what happened with the market was the card market just plummeted. And I was already selling coins. And I'm like, I'm not selling my coin.
Well,
My cards.
it didn't
I
help
just
when
put them
Upper
up.
Deck brought out them SP packs and put one card in there. The packs were costing $7, but all your commons were only worth $3.50. And I think if I remember, we all took a couple of boxes and we opened them up and we found one $50 card between all the boxes, and that was just ridiculous. Because here we
Yeah,
are, we're young adults selling to kids, and
that
finding out they don't stand a chance to make any real money with them packs.
that was right here. He just said something was the main reason I quit. Kids. The market got extremely oversaturated. And it got to a point where kids could not afford it. I
Yeah,
mean, when you talk in the
Bowman
80s,
packs. Look what Bowman packs were doing.
when you talked about the 1980s, packs were 25, 35, 50 cents. For a pack of cards, you get 8 to 16 cards, 8 to 13 cards, something like that. And then you go forward just 5 years, or 4 or 5 years rather. Bowman comes out in 89, and then Leaf comes out in 91. And then all of a sudden, after 91, everything started coming out. You had Top Stadium, Leaf Special Edition, Bowman Special Editions, Upper Deck Special Editions, which also started in 89. And it wasn't that they were just coming out with these cards. They were coming out with these cards limited to pack, the number in the pack, and they were expensive. What kid can afford $5, $10 for a pack of cards? And I think that's a problem with the market today.
Yeah,
It's
they
more
priced
focused.
themselves into a corner is what they did.
It's more, even the sports card market today is more focused to the investor than the kids who we all grew up watching baseball, watching our favorite football players, Roger Staubach, Terry
Joe
Bradshaw,
Montana, Jerry Rice. Yeah,
yeah,
I know.
all these guys. And now these guys, there's so many new players making so much money, and how much money they make is irrelevant. But when it comes to kids watching these sports, they can't afford it no more. So I don't know. Maybe that's why I just don't
It's
want to
not
deal with
about the sports anymore. It's about the
it.
money.
No. Keith didn't realize that was your brother. How cool. Oh, you didn't know that? Hey, well, I am claiming him, Matthew. I am claiming him.
He
Tonight.
does that every once in a while.
Okay, Nick deals with both vintage and new. That's cool,
Thank you
cool,
for
cool.
that answer, Ben. Yeah,
Okay,
Benny. Nick, I appreciate that, buddy. Yeah, because that's all I'm dealing in anymore is just vintage. I was curious.
now I wasn't going to say what was going on with Walker Magnet, but my condolences. He's going to be streaming Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. If you'd like to extend your condolences to him on the loss of his wife. So yeah,
Oh,
Walker
yeah.
Magnet is an awesome person. I've known him for a few years here on YouTube.
Well, Keith, if you're gonna
So
go on there, can you? I won't. I will be in Tyler at that time. I won't have time to get on there. If you could send mine too, I'd really appreciate it very
yeah,
much.
but yeah, so if one of the mods want to throw Walker Magnet's link up, I would really appreciate it. He is, like I said, a really nice guy. I've known him a few years here on YouTube, and yeah, go visit him, give him some condolences. I mean, that would be really hard. The wife and I were
Excuse
talking
me.
about that. I don't know what I would do, and I don't think she would know what she would do if something like that happened to us.
Well,
But we
my
know
wife and I already talked about it. If I
it's
pass
going to happen
first, she's
someday.
never going to talk to another man. If she passes first, I definitely ain't going to try to get another woman. I cannot handle the one I got.
Oh man, I'm gonna go hit the town, man. I'm gonna hit the town.
You go for it.
I don't know how good I'm gonna hit it, but I'm gonna
I
hit it.
really don't believe that, but I'll let you go ahead and say it how you want.
Lix, thank you for the comment, my friend. Thanks for supporting the stream. How do dealers decide how much cash to take with them to various shows? That's a great question. I'm gonna let you cover that, bro.
I decide how much cash I'm going to take. It depends on the show. There is some shows where I got so much stuff sold to other dealers, and I don't carry cash with me at all because I have them bring me cash. And then there's other cases where I might walk them with 50, 60,000 because I know I'm going to do a lot of buying.
All right, brother. How about playing us a tune on that piano?
Once again, I still got that arthritis going on. See, the fingers are just crinked up. I can't move them.
This, my friends, is basically what happens over time, cost to average it. Silver Clan has acquired over 1,500, almost 1,600 Morgan silver dollars in the last 44 years. Wow, that's a lot of silver dollars to put in someone's personal collection. And you could do it too. It just takes time. Buy one here, buy one there.
I do got 5,000 if you need a few more.
Here's Nick Moeller talking about the sports card industry again. He says overpriced and overmade. And that's one of the reasons why I got out of sports cards myself. It's just not for the kids anymore.
No, it's for the collectors now. And Nick, my hat's off to you staying in that game as long as you did. And I'm glad you're sticking in it.
And baseball season was shortened in 2020, and we all know why that was.
Yeah.
The beer virus, as it's commonly called.
Okay. What else we got?
I'm trying to catch up with the chat. I thought, geez, I just okay. Here we go. Here's something. Most of my coins, silver and gold coins, my stack, U.S. coins, small compared to the rest of my collection. Well, I don't find that surprising. Gold maple being during Canada, so it may be a little harder to get the U.S. coins over that ways. But yeah, it's good that you're collecting gold and silver coins. There's no doubt about that. What do you think, bro?
It is. Yes.
Matthew Hart says, you must be a good guy if I'm claiming you. I don't know about all that.
Yeah. That I'm not going to comment on.
You may have heard of my cousin. He played professional baseball. Herman Kyle Kilbrew. The
Killer.
killer. I don't remember. It depends on when he played because, like I said, I got out in the early 90s. I mean, I've heard of a couple of players. If you mention their name, I'll remember it. But me trying to think of their name, no. I couldn't even do that. It's
Who did he play for?
I don't know who he played for. Lick said he just went through that. I am sorry, my friend Licks, and so is Frank Mons. I guess that's similar to what happened with Walker Magnet. So here is a link to Walker Magnet's channel if you guys want to go check it out. We are trying. And here's Frank Mons. He's throwing Silver Clan under the bus. Look at this. He goes, heck, I think that I bought that many from Keith. I have sold a lot of silver dollars here on YouTube. Just put it this way, my personal silver dollar collection is nowhere near the number I sold. So yeah, I have sold a few. Well,
We still got a few to sell, though.
Frank Mons here is, he is one of the luckiest people in the world. He breaks out his metal detector, right? And I got my phone here. And he's like, oh, Keith, look what I found. Texts me this picture of this beautiful ring, more or less. So, I mean, I'm really happy for him, but if you're a friend, my birthday's coming up, just saying. No, but seriously, he is lucky. He does a lot of metal detecting.
Just send a mini Roosevelt dime. Make sure it ain't silver.
But the thing about it is he does his due diligence when he does it. And I think everybody who does metal detecting should do what he does. If there's some identifying mark on the piece of jewelry, he tries to find the home, and he has returned some of the jewelry he's found to the original owners. That is awesome. So not only is he lucky, he is a great-hearted person. So thank you, Frank, from everybody who had
Frank, just tell me where you found it so I can claim it.
On a beach in California. I'm gonna stalk him one of these days. Played for the Twins in the 60s. That's who the killer
Okay,
played
that's
for.
who we played for. Okay. I'm
I
gonna look that
still
name up now. Now you're gonna make me work.
lived in India, Middle East when I was young, so I have a lot of coins from these countries. Yeah, guys, if you're going to collect coins, whether it be your country or your country next door to you, like in the case of Canada, USA, or a foreign country, if you don't know what you're doing and you like coins, try to collect the silver and gold ones because at least that way you're going to have something there. There's Silver Clan saying the Twins and the A's. And the Orioles always beat Twins in the playoffs, too. Ben Stacking says, everybody else knows it. I'm telling you, I'm not real good with ball games. Okay, here we go. Bob's got another question for us. Thanks, Bob. Have you guys been getting swamped with gold and silver the last couple weeks? More buyers for me than sellers. What about you, Mike? You said you had a larger
I
buy
had a lot
earlier.
of sellers to me this in the last couple weeks.
And
But
his
I
are doing
I
good.
actually had one guy come in that sold to us and turned around and last week and bought it back this week and paid a little more. I don't see no sense in that. It makes no sense to me. Got scared last week is what he
So
did.
not only is he doing it wrong by selling in the improper times and buying at improper times, he's literally just paying you to rent your coins. Is that what's happening? Paying you to you like,
No,
"Hey,"
he's paying me to store his coins so he can pick them up next week.
and here's Frank. Look at this. I told you he's nice. He says, "Okay, Keith, I'll find a ring if you lose one." I actually don't wear rings because they irritate my
I
fingers.
do.
I don't wear my wedding ring. I do have one. My wife sometimes will wear it around her neck for me, but it literally hurts my fingers, and I start no matter what it is, it just
I
makes me
guys,
start trembling.
I don't think he loves Angel enough that's why
It's
I don't
not
wear it.
that it bothers my finger. My palms start itching, and it just kind of spreads all over. It's like I end up
Well,
getting
if
rash
you're allergic to
after the
gold,
rain.
just give me all your gold coins. That way we can
I'm
keep you
not
from itching.
allergic to it. It's just I'm
Yeah, it
allergic
sounds
to
like you're
something
allergic
being
to it. If you start
wrapped
itching at
around
you,
me.
put it on. Guys,
I
what do you
used to
think?
wear them.
He itches when he puts a gold ring on. So would you say he's allergic to
It
gold?
could be anything, and I would still. I don't know my fingers. I don't. It's like it's like having this big turtleneck around your, and you squeeze it tight around your neck, and it's like, oh, that's how I
Well,
am
I
with
don't wear
rings.
turtlenecks, but if it's made of gold, I'll wear it.
If anybody understands anything about turtlenecks, they know what I'm talking about.
I
Seems
do
a
know what
lots
you're
of
talking
people.
about.
It seems a lot of people buy and sell at improper times. Yeah, and that's part of why we have this show is to kind of let you know what you should and shouldn't be doing. Um,
I think I
but
still got a couple of turtlenecks hanging in my closet.
but the thing about it is that is why we have it. It's not to buy and sell at the proper improper times. It's if a hiccup comes in life, if an emergency comes, at least we have it to sell. And sometimes is that not the case, Mike? That sometimes people sell at the improper times because they actually need the money. Is that
I actually had a guy sell to me, which worked out for him, a box of silver to pay for his roof because he's waiting for the insurance company, but he didn't want it to keep leaking. So he went to the bank. Bank tried to charge him ridiculous interest rate. He called me up, Mike. Can I sell a box of silver back to you? I'm going to eventually buy it back. I'm just waiting for insurance check. He sold me the box of silver, guys, and he sold it to me when it was up around 28, 29, where it's at now. When the insurance check came, silver hit 24. He bought it back at 26. He come in smiling like a dog with the check, and he says, "This is the first time I got paid to use my stuff." See, he knew
okay?
what the market was. He already called me to find out what I was selling for. He come in smiling like a dog, ready to pay me.
Okay, that's what
I love it when I
Steve
hear
Lapointe.
stories like that, and it happens.
Oh yeah, Steve Lapointe is pointing out to Mud SWAT a lot more folks struggling today, and that's why they're selling.
They
And
are.
it's rough in today's world. Here we are. It's all about the money. Those kids are the collectors now of the cards. The problem is the little bitty kids, their parents can't afford to spend 10, 20, $50 on one pack of cards and get one or two cards out of the pack. It's just crazy money for sports cards. So, guys, I hope I kind of got to everybody's questions. If I didn't get to your questions, shoot us an email. Just type in explanation point email in the chat and ask it, and we'll save it for next week. We do look at the email periodically through the show. I did look, and I didn't have a single question this week or today while we was live. But I want to thank everybody for coming in. Mike, is there anything you want to say? I mean, it's been over an hour, so it's about time we let these people
No,
get to know
guys,
you a little
I
bit
want to
more.
appreciate everybody for coming. I'm glad that you guys were able to ask all the questions you did. This makes the evening go by quick. It also makes me feel good when I can answer questions. So, guys, just keep asking these questions. We'll keep doing these shows. Hopefully, I get to see you guys again next Tuesday. I will be on next Tuesday as long as Mr. Keefe will have me. So, guys, thank you again.
Really, really, as long as I'll have you, really. You know you're up here, bro. So, guys, I do apologize if I didn't get to your questions. Please, again, follow the pin message next week. Put the questions up there. Sometimes we run slow. And yeah, the mods also help out, and some of the people in chat helps out. But I want to thank everybody for their support. This has been a great, exciting show, and I just don't know what to say. I'm truly humbled. But remember, if you guys weren't here to ask questions, this show wouldn't be so exciting. I want to thank you. Go check out Mike's channel. If one of the mods can throw it up, check out my video short today. I put up about this coin, and there's going to be a video following giving you more information on it. So yeah, some thumbs up on that would be great. So I guess thanks you so much. Don't forget Mrs. Coin Crew Thursday morning 8 a.m. Friday morning 8 a.m. Mrs. Coin Crew. Tomorrow I think they're over at Sterling Cannabis's channel with the morning show. So guys, we'll see you here on this channel. Same type of programming next Tuesday 7:30 Eastern time. Although before that, we're going to be live with an auction on Sunday. So until then, have a great rest of your week. Thank you.
Thank you.